Hey guys, and welcome to my video where I'm going to show you how to get the best possible start on Motorsport Manager. Now, I've just finished the tutorial. Now, in that tutorial, there was one mistake which I personally feel is a mistake, where they replaced Evans with Williams. Now, you haven't got any choice on who to replace in the tutorial. Preferably, I'd have replaced Santa Ana, but we're just going to have to live through that and get Evans back. And the reason for that is, if you go to the drivers, let's just have a look at William Evans's stats. You can see he is a fairly poor driver. He doesn't excel in anything, which is actually a good thing. Bear with me here. Now, the reason why we want Evans on our team is his driver traits. Now, he will give us 25,000 regardless of whether he comes in last place or first place. Obviously, if he comes in first place, you'll get more money plus the 25,000. Otherwise, it's 25,000 for free, and that really helps you out at the beginning of the game. Another thing why I said it's actually a good thing to have a bad driver is because the best strategy, in my opinion, is to have a leading driver and a second driver. Now, Evans, we don't really need him to win. In fact, it works in our favor if he doesn't, and I'll tell you why. Because we want to get parts. The more races you do, the more parts you gain. Later on in the game, it becomes more and more difficult to do races because it becomes more difficult to win those races. So by staying in the lower tiers of the race for as long as possible, that means you win more races and you also get more parts. So if, for example, you do a race and both Santa Ana and Williams win the race because of your team coming up higher, you will get more points, so you will advance through the tier a lot quicker. So my best strategy at the moment is to slow that down as much as possible. And I know what you're thinking, that doesn't make sense, but it does, trust me. Because when you come to upgrade your car, you will need parts. Later on in the game, if you advance too quickly, you'll find yourself that you haven't got these parts right here to upgrade your car, whereas most other people in the team have. So you're not going to be winning races, you're going to be losing races. That'll annoy you, possibly even get you to stop playing the game. So what we want to do is we want to earn as much money as possible, which is why Evans comes into play. And we want to upgrade our car as much as possible and get as much parts as possible as we can, even though we may not use them on the upgrades. We'll keep them for future upgrades. So just stopping there. Make sure you like the channel and subscribe, because I'll try and do these videos a bit more often as we go through the tiers. So this is just us starting out. We are going to go into the home screen, get some free cash. As you can see, I've already claimed the free cash and it has a countdown, so keep that in mind. Always come back to claim that free cash. Then you can do your video rewards. There is 3 rewards on each one. I'm not going to bore you right now with the adverts. So if you have a look right here, you can see you have the 3 adverts. You want to do each one, and then they have a timer, a cooldown period, where you can't do them again until you come back. Make sure you keep an eye on them. Do them as often as you can. So once you've done all them, what we want to do is come back over here to the drivers. Now, I want to stress this as much as possible. Do not upgrade your drivers, at least in the start of the game. I should probably explain why that is, because when you upgrade the drivers, it costs you money to upgrade the drivers. You're better off saving that money, and when the contract runs out, you get new drivers at that point. Obviously, the same is true for Evans, but the reason for that is because we don't want to upgrade him, because it doesn't really matter if he comes in last place or first place. So again, don't upgrade your drivers until you get to sort of the end of tier 3. Yeah. Now, the best stats, in my opinion, are going to be qualifying, because if you can guarantee that you qualify in first place, that is a massive gain. Race is also important, and smoothness. After you do those, race start becomes also quite important. And I think if you get all these, the defending and the overtaking can sort of take a back burner to the upgrade, because if you're in first place and you're pulling away from the pack, you don't really need to defend. And if you've got good race starts, you won't need to overtake as long as you qualify in a good position. So what we're going to go ahead and do right now is we are going to get Evans. And it's up to you if you do it at this stage or not, because Santa Ana has still got 8 races remaining. But I just prefer to do it immediately at the beginning of the game, I know you lose a little bit of money because you spent a little bit on Carter. So, William Evans. We're going to approach him. Just gives you a bit of a overview there. If you haven't played it before, read through that. So what we are going to try and do is go for the full 15 races. Now you got to think that he's actually paying his own contract because he earns his own money. So we're not going to start with 70. We're going to go to 95 with no support staff. We've got 3 chances, so let's go with that. See, he definitely did not like that deal. So we're going to sweeten it a little bit. Let's go to 145. See how he feels about that. And there you go. Just signed Evans. And we will be replacing him with Santa Ana. So now we have our leading driver and our second driver. And as long as we don't upgrade Evans, I'm pretty sure we can just renew his contract without negotiating. So next thing we want to do is have a look at what upgrades we have. So when we're doing the upgrades, we are upgrading only the lead driver. And the reason why we're doing this is because we are trying to save money. So as you can see, the level 2 part here is 50k. It will go up in price each time, and also it will take more time to design the part level by level. So that's why we only upgrade the one car. Then what we're going to do is hand down the old upgrade from the previous car onto Evans. So his car's still going to get upgraded, only at a slower level. Also, it will help with contract negotiations in the future, because we're going to unlock the best car negotiation. So if you want to negotiate a driver, you can say you're going to be in the best car, and that will help you out there. So let's go ahead and build these brakes. So for those who noticed, I actually messed up a little bit because I didn't grade the level of the part before I clicked build. So looks like Evans is getting free upgrade unless I can recycle that. Yep, okay. We're just going to recycle that. So we're going to try that again, this time without messing up. So let's go home, back to the screen. So like I said, upgrade level, upgrade your part, agree to level 4. As you can see, you need parts to do this. And the higher the level goes, the more parts you need. So we're going to go ahead and build the level 4 brakes. We can't upgrade suspension at the moment, and we can't upgrade the gearbox, just the brakes. So we're just going to go ahead and wait for that timer to go down. Just going to skip ahead. So now the part's ready. We're going to go ahead and click fit the part. Now, what you can see here, as I was saying, we're going to hand down the part, is we're going to give Evans this part over here, which is a level 2. Then Carter Williams is going to have the level 4 part. That just saves a little bit of money, so you're not building the same part twice. Later on in the game, it will save a lot more money. And because, like I said, you don't need Evans to win races, only Carter, it makes a lot more sense. So before you select your driver, you want to click down here to swap your parts first. So swap them, then select your driver and assign the part. So now our car is upgraded to higher level. We've got another upgrade there because we got some parts from the last race, but we can't do that just yet because, again, we've only got 7 when we need 12. So at this stage, the beginning of the game, there's not much more we can do because we haven't unlocked staff, strategies, headquarters, or sponsors yet. And since we've upgraded the car at the highest level, we might as well jump into the race. And I'll tell you just what to do later on in the race. Now, when you come to a race, you've always got different options. If you find that you're doing particularly well on a certain circuit, I would stick with that. And if you find you're particularly doing badly at a circuit, the same, don't go back and do the same circuit. Just wait till the timer runs down and pick whichever circuit that you like, which one you find yourself winning at. So we're just going to go ahead and do this race. It doesn't really matter what the race does. You can see Carter will do 3 laps maximum. Evans will do 1 to 2. So we're just going to swap him onto hard tyres. He's obviously going to qualify poorly, as he has done. But like I said, doesn't really matter. So, as you can see, qualifying is most about battle. If you can get yourself into first place, or even second, you can try and fight for that first place position, and it gives you a lot more options of what you can do with your tyres and your power. So this stage we're just trying to stick with the leader. As you can see, we just passed him there. We're going to get into lap 3, and then we are going to pit our car for some hard tyres. It starts to look like our tyres won't make it to the pit stop because we're so far ahead. We can drop down to conserve the tyres a little bit. So just going to go back onto the normal driver mode. We just pitted for hards and we are still in first place. So we're going to reduce our power down a little bit. Evans also needs to pit. We're going to pit him onto some soft tyres. As you can see, Williams is way ahead of the pack. Can actually afford to push less aggressively. Now, when Evans gets to lap 7, we are going to push him a little bit more. Williams is a bit of excess fuel, 1.3 laps. Evans is on lap 7, but it doesn't look like his tyres are going to last, so we're going to click to conserve those tyres because we don't want him to do another pit stop. And also we're going to ask him to increase the engine power. Going to go ahead and go into normal driving mode. Keep the engine at high power. And you can see Evans has lost his tyres. Not going to worry about that too much. Can't pit him anyway. It is the last lap. So that was it, the first race after the tutorial. And you can see we have our first driver, our number one, is in first place, which is what we wanted. So we get the payout. And as you can see over here, we have 25,000 that Evans has given us, which is nice. So we're just gonna continue here, and this should bring us to the end of this video. Just gonna show you what I do with the worn parts. So what I do is tend to try and ignore, tend to try and ignore the parts that Evans has fitted to his car in regards with the wear and the performance wear and the other wear. So if you concentrate on your number one driver and fix all their parts, because eventually these parts will go to your number two driver and they'll be at the best shape. And don't forget, we want this driver to win. And not that we don't care about Evans, but yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. We do care about him, but we don't care if he wins or loses. So I'm going to go ahead and fix, confirm that. And there you go. I hope that helped you out a little bit at the start of the game, the best possible start that you could have. Doing it this way will mean that you get more money and more parts for the car. So hopefully that helps you out. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing another video very soon on the next stage. Thank you and good night.